Oh, it'd help if I was showing the right screen.
Nothing would help.
And also not, there it is. All right, so I'm just gonna find more shit to talk about. So yeah, this one's pretty cool. It's Amazon buy two get one free, and they have a list of games. I wish I knew that. Pokemon Arceus was actually on here.
I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear anything about it from you. Absolutely nothing. All right?
So we pre-ordered one copy,
Okay.
and then because this one, we always when Pokemon comes out, we always get two. I'll get the diamond, whatever, and we split it so we can obviously just share with each other. But I was like, well, there's no reason to do that this time around, right? And then Brittany literally looks at me straight in the face and she's like, do you want to get two? I'm like, I could just wait until you're done. And she's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then we start playing, or she starts playing, and I'm sitting there being like, oh, I get it. Like, this would actually be really fun for both of us to be playing, not necessarily like together, but like at the same time, and then talking about like stuff to get. And she's like, yeah, you're a dumbass. So I ended up buying it digitally. So that's why she's upset, just to fill you in.
Oh yeah, this is actually the first one I've bought in a long time. My brother always buys both editions.
Oh, and then he just is like, here, play the other one and give
Yeah.
me the fucking starters.
Yeah, so I just normally take whichever one he's not playing and play it. So I haven't bought a game since. Oh, I bought Black 2, I think, or White 2, one of the two.
Damn, you're talking about several generations ago.
And before that, Game Boy Advance was the last one I had bought.
Whoa! Oh, man.
I will tell you, I'm very throwback.
I'm a Gen 1er, so
Yeah, well, Gen 2 is my favorite.
yeah.
Not because the Pokemon in Gen 2 are better than Gen 1. I do like the Pokemon in Gen 1 better, but the game itself in Gen 2 was better.
Yeah.
Because you could go back to Gen 1.
Yeah, you had both games, technically. True.
I still think technically Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the two best games.
I like
games ever made.
Emerald a lot for its story. And that's the only thing. I just remember going into space and like, this is fucking outrageous. Why am I playing Pokemon like the extreme version? And I like over the top shit.
Yeah, but I am really enjoying this one. This one ranks really high on my list.
Yeah, I just started playing. You know, I saw you on a couple of times. I was on last night before I went to bed. And
Yeah.
like, dude, I knew it. That ADD checklist, just everything is just shining in my head. I haven't left the starting area. I quelled, what's his name, Cleaver or whatever, and then I went back to the first area and I was like, okay, I've maxed out Bidoof, like gold researched, like every single thing, and then I'm like working on all this shit before I even think about continuing the game.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of both. Like, if I'm, say, decide I want to watch, like, Critical Role or something like that, then I'll go and start doing
Old
research
shit.
tasks.
Yep.
And then I'll go do the story mission for a little while. I am at the end of the story now, though, so...
Yeah, you've been playing since the beginning. So.
Yeah. I've caught one of the two legendaries, so I just gotta catch the other one, and technically then I'll be done with the main story.
Oh, that's awesome. There's also a post story, like there always is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta do all of this crazy stuff to get Arceus. You don't really catch him.
Yeah, he's just like, you are worthy.
Yeah. And then, but you have to have a completed Pokedex in order to do that, and you're just like, okay, what's the point?
Why?
Why do I do it? And it's like, he's like, yeah, you can use me in battle now.
Yeah, but I have them all. What? Good, you've enslaved all of my brethren. I will join you.
The DLC better be good, because
It's on. There's DLC.
there is talks of DLC.
Okay.
The leak
so.
is supposedly another 160 Pokemon, so they're gonna push it to 400 in the game.
Oh wow! Holy shit.
I saw that earlier this week, but I mean that's a leak, obviously, so you don't
Yeah.
know. You can't take that for grant or.
Yeah, at face value.
But
Yeah.
this was also the same person that leaked out all of this stuff about the starters having different final evolutions, and all this stuff before it was actually revealed. So
So it's on good source
Yeah.
overall. Yeah. Sweet. Oh, I saw the Ghost of Tsushima was on here. I thought of you.
yeah, really good game.
Yep.
I highly recommend it. I got a guy at work that his friend had got a PlayStation 5 and didn't play it and sold it to him, and he picked up Ghost of Tsushima and he hadn't played it yet, and I was like, all right. It's like he had just gotten. I was like, that's the first thing you need to play because he's
Yep.
really big into the Souls-like games anyway, and that's straight. It's not Souls-like, but it's Souls-like combat.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's like I think you're gonna like that. So
God. It's supposed to be such a good game. I'll eventually, I'm sure, get around to it.
yeah, you know me. I don't platinum games unless I really like them.
Yeah.
And I platinumed that one easily.
No,
And did all of the DLC trophies. That's something I never do, even when I platinum games.
that's crazy. Yeah, that says a lot. Yeah. I mean, I would love an easy plat too, especially after fucking Yakuza.
Yeah, it's not difficult. It's just playing through the game, and then there's a few things you have to collect here and there. But it has like a mechanic in it where you can follow the wind, and you can use skill points to unlock what the wind points to, and it can point you to those collectibles. So
God. That's so good because I hate every single collectible trophy ever when it's like get 200 flags in Assassin's Creed. Go fuck yourself. It always just leads to me looking at a guide and being like, okay, which one do I have again?
yeah, and see, and it's real stupid on those games because you get nothing for collecting them. They're
Yeah.
just there. It's kind of like the Riddler trophies in Batman. What's the point other than
You did it. You did the
You
thing.
did it.
You walked
At
to
least
the section and you grabbed it.
yeah, at least in Ghost of Tsushima, when you find the Fox Shrines, it increases, or like it'll unlock charms, and then it'll increase how those charms work. When you find the hot springs, it increases your health.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So
There's a
um,
reason to do it.
yeah, the bamboo strikes will increase your resolve. So literally, when I would go to a new area, the collectibles were the first thing I was seeking out.
Huh.
Instead of the last,
Last.
because they were making me stronger by finding them.
Wow. Yeah, that is twisted. All right.
There is
mhm.
one thing that you do have to search out that is questionable about
Not as
whether or
fun.
not you want it. I mean, it's the same type of thing, but it's just cosmetic stuff, so
Yeah.
you don't care about what you look like.
I
You
never
might
do.
not care about those.
Yeah, you can always miss me with the cosmetics.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of the like the armor cosmetics are pretty cool, but they aren't tied to what you find out in the world. Those are all tied to actual armor.
Gotcha.
Um,
Whatever
and
armor
then-
you're using.
yeah, and in the DLC, there's like these shrines that have riddles, and if you solve the riddle, they unlock different versions of the armor. And like one of them is your clan armor, which is like your father's armor, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a God of War version of it.
Oh,
So
that's
it's got, like, the
insane.
God of War paint scheme and all this, but it's like samurai armor.
That sounds actually pretty cool. I'm actually. Oh. Oh, that is sick. Then he uses this hatchet. Alright, well, we got our new releases, Sifu, Lost Ark, the Star Wars game, Storybook Brawl, and then Amazon News. Is there anything else I'm missing?
I don't think so.
Alright. Sweet. So, a lot of the newer releases, we got the Ollie Ollie World, whatever the fuck that is, Sifu, which I'm excited.
Not just like a skateboard game.
I don't know. That's normally not the how you spell Ollie, but yeah. Yep, it is. So what do I know? Clearly nothing. Sifu, which is I'm pretty excited about. Action arcade wrestling, it's coming to the Switch. Whatever Backbone is. Looks interesting.
I get Redwall vibes.
Yeah. Crossfire X, which looks like one of those like free to play shooters, but only coming to the Xbox. It's apparently on Game Pass for February. Congratulations, Xbox people. Edge of Eternity, I've heard of that. It's an old role playing game.
Yeah, it's I think kind of like Tales, the Tales series, and the what is the other one? There's another one that I can't think of. I think Edge is a series.
Gotcha. Like Edge of, and then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Man, Japanese studios really love doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at them, they're all standalone.
Yeah.
But then you look at me like,
Anthology.
oh, this is cool, and then you go back and look, and there's like 20 of them, and you're like,
Yeah.
what? How have I never heard of this before?
Yep. I mean, that I felt silly with Dragon Quest, man. It was like the first game I played was of Dragon Quest series was the one that released, which was what, like
11 or something?
Yeah, Dragon. I think it was.
To be fair, I
11. Yeah.
have heard of Dragon Quest forever. I've never played any of them, but that is one that I know has been around for ever. But like the Tales one, where we just saw the
Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Arise.
Yeah, Tales of Arise, and it's like, and then you go back and look how many Tales there are.
Yeah.
And then, the Trials series is the other one, that I've seen. I've played Trials of Cold Steel, but there's a whole bunch of different Trials games as well.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Trials games. Trials of Mana.
Trials of Cold Steel. I think you would enjoy that one. That one is a series within a series, or an anthology, I guess. There are like 4 of the Trials of Cold Steel, but then those trials fit into the Trials anthology.
Got it. Showing results for Trails of Cold Steel.
Oh, maybe it's Trails. Maybe I'm been calling it Trials instead of its Trails.
It's alright, man. Everyone has a little bit of dyslexia. Either way.
Yeah.
It does actually look like it'd be up my alley.
Yeah. I have played the first one I haven't beat it, but I've played it pretty deeply. I think the first 3 of them are on PlayStation Now, if they ever combine that. So you're playing PS Plus.
Alright, I saw Cardboard Kings as the next game with a K, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was actually really excited. I was like, oh, what's this? And then it says, you will let you live out your card shop dreams. I'm like, never mind. I went from like 100 to like 0. It's like, oh, what's the most interesting thing about a card shop? Or card games. Oh, running a card shop. Nah, I'm good. Wow, you can even mark up whatever. Oh, you lost me on that one. I'm not a big Sims person, though, so...
Yeah, I do like Sims, and I would probably play that if it was on mobile. I'm not gonna play it on PC.
PC? Yeah. And then on Switch, we have all the Kingdom Hearts crap. Including 3. No, you're a huge fan, so, you know. And as you heard earlier, I'm banned from getting any.
I do love the Kingdom Hearts series. I am mildly surprised that they have a Kingdom Hearts 3 at a 9.5.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
like
I think that was the worst out of the 3.
I agree. I got 3. I'm glad I played it. Because finishing, the main trilogy I think was really good because I really enjoyed 1 and 2. But yeah, 3 was just so difficult to follow, not to play.
Yeah, and I've told you this before, and I may have mentioned it on the podcast. Like 3, my favorite part of 3 was the gummy ship, which was my least favorite part in the other games.
Yeah.
So that tells you a whole bunch.
It does tell you a lot. And Not Know Thy Heart, but no by heart, whatever that game is. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. It's an adventure game. Looks very indie. Cool.
Pick Lodge.
And then the one that you're looking forward to that I'm sure we'll all play was also Lost Ark.
Yep.
So this one I talked about when we first had rumblings of it when we were doing our review with the games we're looking forward to coming out in 2022, and I had this one on here. And if this review is to be believed, then I'm probably going to be disappointed. So. Hey!
Yeah. When you were reading the review earlier, and I was just kind of like reading along. It's like, this is a very scathing review of a video game. I haven't seen something with like this harsh in a long time.
Yep. So, and that's actually the big indicator for me, right? You read a good review for your video games, and you're always skeptical, right? You're all like, good reviews or whatever. But when you read a bad one, you're like, uh-oh. Like, this game probably is really bad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to watch some Twitch streamers play the game and see if I still like it. But yeah, apparently the aging mechanic was done poorly. And, like, you have certain things that are locked in your roguelite. But at the same time, like, I have also realized that sometimes, and I'm hoping this is the case, if a game is quote-unquote too difficult for some people, they'll shit on it and say it's the game's fault.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's kind of the case here, where you just have to get good to steal something.
This is almost like, I don't know anything about who wrote this or even how they do their
from Polygon
reviews.
Yeah,
We're in a world now where video games are so different that you need specialized people writing reviews for specialized games.
Yep.
So like, someone needs to be like a specialist in roguelite or roguelike or Souls-like games, I think, to really review this game.
Yeah. No, or at least if it's in like a combat game, like a fighting type, like a Arkham Asylum combat mixed with the roguelite, like, yeah, someone who lives in that genre, not just hey, you take the new releases, the big ones this week, like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, the guy who spends his whole time playing
Madden,
Skyrim,
or
NBA 2K, and it's like, all right, you get Sifu.
Yep. Yeah, and obviously you can do your homework, right? You see what else he's played, but that's a lot of work. I'm hoping this person is just bad at this type of game, and then it turns out to be really good. But it is, I can't really buy, my backlog is so insane. A game has to be really good, like Arceus, for me to be like, okay, I'm going to play this right now over Yakuza 5 and getting that done. With the exception of this next game. So this is something that I tangentially am aware of because I watch people play the beta. It looks interesting. I don't want to use the word Diablo clone because it's doing at least different things. But yeah, you probably talk a little bit more about it than I can.
Well, to be fair, I don't know a ton about it. I've had it on my wish list on Steam for like 6 months. But it's a like top-down isometric MMO with Diablo style. What is it? Path of Exiles may be closer to.
Yeah, the key buttons, with the 4 slots that you move abilities into and around.
Yeah, and it is free. It's coming to free to play, and I do think one thing that this game has that what is it? New World didn't, because when we played New World, it's an end game.
I knew where you were going as soon as you started that sentence.
When we played New World, we didn't have an end game because that was a from scratch game that Amazon was putting out.
Yep.
Their first game. While Amazon is also putting this one out, this is not a from scratch game. This game has been out for 3 or 4 years already in the East. So this is just a U.S. or Western port, if you will. So, I mean, the game already has established end game in it.
Yeah, which also means that there's probably already really good builds and stuff to find out there,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And I mean, I was looking earlier, and there's already reviews on Steam because people have played the.
Yeah, Zach was
Eastern version.
playing. Our buddy Zach is in Japan at the moment, and he was playing.
Yeah.
I remember one time he was trying to do the captcha, and he was like, "But I can't read the symbols." And me and Sam are like, "Well, we know enough to."
Yeah, and when I looked earlier, it had like a 97% positive rating.
Wow!
on
Holy
Steam.
crap!
Yeah. So I was like.
On Steam too?
Yeah. But granted, these are all just people who. The only people who can really review it are people who have early
played
access or have played it.
Yep.
So you do have to take that with a grain of salt. But I mean, the top review on it was a guy who's like, "I've played this game for over 500 hours on the Russian version or whatever."
Jesus.
It just went into this whole concept about it can be a little bit of a grind getting to max level, but there is end game when you get there, and it goes into explaining about all the things you can do at end game and all this stuff. So
That's exciting.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's free to play, and we have a group now that all
That
have PCs.
yeah, that was the hardest part, is waiting for everybody to actually have PCs. I'm even wondering if I can get LUX to play. It'd be nice to play PC games with her again. And correct me if I'm wrong, you were talking about before in the pre-show, if you become a founder, you can actually, which obviously you pay up front, but you could play, like, what, starting tomorrow? Like a little bit of early access?
Yeah, it says 3-day early access, which I assume would be tomorrow.
Yeah, because it comes
on
out
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like $15. You get a 3-day head start, and you get a month, or yeah, I think it's a month of, what do they call it? Oh, crystalline aura, whatever, which I assume would be their
paid currency
subscription.
shop thing.
Or no, their subscription service.
Oh, cool.
Probably bonus XP, that kind of stuff is normally what you get for paid things on these free-to-plays.
Yeah, I mean, if this is something that actually looks like we're going to play for a little bit, I never mind throwing money.
Oh, yeah. If it's something I feel like I'm going to play for a month,
Yep,
then I
that's
don't
worth
mind
it.
throwing a month subscription at it.
Yep, exactly. So, I hope so. And before, it does look interesting. Obviously, we're probably going to end up playing, especially since there's no... I love games like this, and I understand this is the new thing, right, where everything's free to play, but there's no penalty, right? You just wasted your time if you don't like it.
Yeah.
So, it's smart. And this is something that I should have mentioned last time, but speaking of games we were probably finally able to play with each other, is the Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Well, that's a new game. Was it Tiny Tina? What's the one that just came out? Assault on Dragon Keep.
Yeah, it didn't just come out. It's been out for like 8 years.
It's been out for a bit, but the standalone DLC or something like that. This is free if you have PlayStation Plus. So.
Yeah.
As well as I remember seeing the other games and not really caring, so I can't remember what they are. But this one I actually saw and I was like, oh man, this would be fun to play. So.
Yeah. I am gonna say I have seen some people like on Reddit, and you know how Reddit is.
Yeah.
Really complaining about this being a PlayStation Plus game this month. For multiple reasons. One is the fact that it's a DLC and not a game. So they're complaining
but they've
about
done that before. First Light was one of the first games I played from Infamous, and that was the standalone DLC, because it was free.
And the second issue was the fact that this Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Reach or whatever it is when you log into it, it has a page on it to pre-order the new game that's coming out, and they're really complaining. It's like, this is shameless and all this. It's like,
dude,
no, this is marketing.
Yeah, and actually marketing that's really well done for once.
Yeah, this company literally made their game free as an advertisement for their new game. It's like,
yeah, like, this is like someone playing a beta that then when the beta asks you to pre-order the game gets upset by it.
yeah.
It's like, oh god.
It's like, literally, all you have to do is hit circle.
No, I don't want to pre-order. Thank you. I'm telling you, especially Reddit.
It doesn't make you take a 15-minute survey on why you don't want to pre-order it.
And even if it did, you'd still be able to cancel it. People complain about anything.
Yeah.
So proposed interest is maybe after the stream, after we all get some food, after this part, maybe play some Tiny Tina's, the DLC, and then play that for a little bit, and then ebb into Lost Ark this weekend, maybe for a Friday game, or Storybook Brawl. Maybe I can convince Alex to play it. That sounds good. But yeah, so that's definitely something we're looking forward to. And we wanted to talk about the Star Wars games since we didn't get a chance to last time. Do you have any information besides whatever this /gear.com website where it's just like, hey, these games are coming up?
Well, that was basically what it was. Is Lucas Arts game. What is their name now? It's Lucas Arts Lucas Films Games. They've changed the name.
They changed it so many.
It used to just be Lucas Arts.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's Lucasfilms Games.
Yeah. They held a press thing. It wasn't last week. It was the week before because we were going to talk about it last week, but I had to bail. But it was just a press release type thing with Respawn that first off confirmed that they were working on a sequel to the Jedi series. The Jedi, or
yeah,
Star Wars Jedi Lost Order.
Yep.
Which a lot of people have been really pushing for, hey, are you guys making a sequel for this? And so, yes, they did confirm that they are in fact making a sequel.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's really good news because I rank that in my top 2 Star Wars games of all time.
Pod racing's number 1, right?
Yeah. I do like the pod racing, but no.
Is SWOTOR number 1?
No, I think just for the story, Knights of the Old Republic, and so when I say top 2, I can't really give it a second place. It's kind of interchangeable 1 and 2 between Knights of the Old Republic and this one.
Gotcha.
If I was gonna go back right now and replay one, it would be Jedi. It would not be KOTOR.
I don't
now,
blame
when the
you.
remake comes out, that may be a different story.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yes, SWOTOR would be number 3.
Makes sense. Because I like SWOTOR a lot, so.
Yeah, and I have played through every class's main story on SWOTOR. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
So good. That's another free one we could get everybody to.
Yeah.
I
I get upset by it, and it's not well, it's kind of the game's fault, but it's not the game's, like, BioWare or whatever's fault. It was such a good sub game.
Yes.
It was so good. It really was, like, and then you went free to play, and this is one of the instances where that hurt the game a lot.
Yeah, and it wasn't even immediate when it went free to play.
Yeah.
Because when it went free to play, you could still sub, and you still got all the benefits of being a sub.
Yep.
Which is how you should do free to play games.
Yep.
But then they changed it, and suddenly there was stuff in the market that was not just cosmetic, that wasn't included in your subscription.
Yep.
Like, they put a companion in the market that was heads above any other companion as the best companion in the game.
Yep.
And it was purchase.
Yep.
It wasn't included in subscription.
God. So, like, I get it, but I would definitely be down if we ever had a dry season and we can convince others to go back to play it. But yeah, that one just hurts me because of how good it was. Like, it was easily one of the best MMOs.
I was into it big time.
Yep. Yeah, me and you were Sith Inquisitors shooting lightning, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was at one point, like, I mean, I had made it to max level, and I was really big into the PvP, surprisingly. Yeah. And the way I had my Inquisitor, like, spec'd, I was leading teams in damage and healing. So like the capture point mode where you had to like,
Yeah,
to
you stand
capture-
in a certain
I
spot.
would stand there by myself, and the rest of the team would go somewhere else because they couldn't kill me. I would just throw a healing glyph down on the ground and kill everybody that came near me. It was like I could solo a point. It's just ridiculous.
God, that had to feel so good though. I love doing that broken shit in PvP.
Yeah. The Inquisitor was like the only thing you could do that on because
Yep.
it was spec to be a top DPS, but you could also
Heal.
spec it to be a healer. And
Yep.
then if you found that sweet spot in the middle.
God, that sounds broken as shit. I never got a chance to do anything that cool. But yeah. So, it's exciting stuff though. Star Wars games coming out. I'm not nearly as big as either you or Alux in the genre, but I still appreciate it, right? That's still good.
Yeah, we didn't mention the other 2 games. We just talked about Jedi.
Oh,
they did
yeah.
also announce an FPS.
That's one that's being handled by Respawn, right?
Yes. And so, I don't know much about it, other than Respawn's doing it, and it's an FPS.
And there's the strategy game,
Yeah, they're also doing a strategy game, and
but Respawn looks like it's only going to be acting as a producer.
yeah.
Bit reactor.
Yeah, so I don't know. They didn't provide any information on these 2 games other than that
They exist.
they were that they were in development, and these are what they fall under, or like the genres.
Hey, it's also it should be noted that Respawn is hiring for these projects. So if you're a developer, artist, or designer, give Respawn's career page a look.
Yeah, I did see that what Insomniac the other day, I think it was had like 20 some open positions for development.
That's crazy.
And one of them was automation.
Oh wow, that's right up your alley, dog.
It's like I got the qualifications for this one.
You really do though. That shit's hilarious. But either way, it's exciting shit. Let's dive into the patch that literally we just watched Alux play a game where she didn't get the patch in, so all of her 6 drops are jacked up. But yeah, it looks like Pumpkin King is back to a 6.
Yep, this was a change I think we all knew was coming.
Yep. Long live the pumpkin meta. It's now dead. It's not dead. It's just back to what it was doing before. Yep. So, who cares? Here's the problem. I expected a change to dwarves. And I guess this is a change. Like, oh, now your shops and your dwarves only have +1/+1. But white wasn't the thing that was making things broken.
Yeah. I'm honestly gonna say, in the last like 3 times I've run dwarves, I didn't even see a princess.
I did, yeah. I don't see a Princess White and go, well, I can't lie. I do sometimes, right? On 3, fresh 3, grab. But
Yeah.
most of the time, it's I got a Fanny and a Crafty and a Treasure. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm already like halfway there.
Yeah, or your first shop is Fanny Tiny.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Oh, well,
okay.
might as well. But yeah, so it, in spoiler, well, actually, I read the patches. So I know that there's no changes to dwarves. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're just gonna enter a dwarf meta. It's my upcoming prediction. Monkey's Paw has been changed. Instead of giving me a 6/6, and now gives everything a +5/+5.
Yep. I think, according to what they said there, they were afraid that the Pumpkin meta shed light on the trophy, and people were now going to pick it regardless.
It's interesting. I feel like sacrificing a slot was you'd only do it if you were summons.
Yeah, animals.
Yeah.
Is the only. And a lot of times I don't even choose it for that because I have a hard enough time getting what I want on animals on the board with 7.
True. Like, and even in Pumpkin, right? You get to the point where, sure, this is really strong until, like, you're like, all right, I want all of my 6 drops in.
Yeah.
And the same thing with animals. Eventually, you get to the point where you want all of your 6-drops. You want all your Bearsteins if you're actually not Kevin and can find them.
Yeah, and your Echo.
Echo. And
then you want your 3 big pigs on the back line.
Yep.
And it's just like, this not all fits here.
Yeah, it's so true. So I don't know. It seems weird. It doesn't seem like it's really going to hurt it that much. I think you're going to grab it. It's going to go down in pick value, but not because of the +6/+6. I feel just because Pumpkin has been moved.
Yeah.
Because this was a perfect pair for Pumpkin, right? If you were already Pumpkin gaming and then you got a triple, well, Monkey's Paw already fit to it.
Yep.
You're not collecting anything on animals on 5 that I can think of. Oh, Baby Bear.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But most of the time you don't combine Baby Bear.
True. Most of the time I only want 2 separate Baby Bears.
So yeah, and any other met or like comp, there are a lot better 5 treasures.
Yes, 100%. So whatever, they changed it. I don't really care. I kind of actually feel the same way for this next one too. Is Merlin's now been changed, where they give a random character instead of +2/+1, it's now going to give +1/+1. Like. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a nerf, but, like, I don't think I really care.
Yeah. I don't do that well on Merlin normally anyway, other than that disgusting game I had earlier.
Yeah, but to say, I don't know if you're allowed to say that after this screenshot. Where was it? I don't know if I can do that while streaming, but that was gross. God. I know, that's Brittany's. This was the patched game. But this was gross, dude. Mimic, Wand, plus Ball with an Aeon in the first slot. Upgraded Aeon, so you technically have Hat that has a 420 Blaze It.
Yeah. To be fair, I will point out that the Storm King on the back line, the upgraded one, is not a permanent Storm King. I hit that on a mix.
Mix? That's gross. Hold on, wait. So if you mix something before the game is over, it stays mixed?
It shows your final
on the
board
end
now
game
when you win a game. Yeah.
Oh.
That was in the last patch.
So that's intended then. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like it should revert back. It should show you what the mix was, but I don't know.
What was it? I want to say I had kissed it, and it was a Green Knight. Because it was a
It was a 5 into a 6, like a Neon?
Yeah. No, it wasn't a Neon, it was a Lance.
Ah, nice.
Which I think is how I got Mimic.
Mimic, yeah. Makes sense.
Kissed
it to a Green Knight, and then you mixed it to a Storm
and
King.
Then I mixed it to a Storm King.
Gross.
It had been a Green Knight for a little while, but then the mix just came up, and I just threw it on it because the Green Knight.
Man.
And then it hits that, and then I'm just running 3 Storm Kings, a Aeon, and a Spellbook.
God.
And then Pig comes up in the shop, and with Wand and Mimic,
that's 3 pigs. It doesn't
and
even matter what he's running.
And he's running Pumpkin with 2 Pumpkins in the back line, and I picked both of them.
Oh, he's so mad.
I just emoted immediately. And I was like, good game.
Good game.
It's like, it's over now.
Oh, you're one of the BMers now, man.
Yeah, he sent back the, like, head blown in mode. It didn't matter anyway. Even if the Pumpkin goes off, he doesn't beat that.
No, just because the amount of rotten apple trees and deuces you need to have are actually impossible with that board.
Yeah.
You need one for every single one, and the math just doesn't check out.
Yeah. And, yeah, I played a game after that. I didn't post it. I got Pants and hit half-ball early on it.
Oh.
And then I treasure mapped into Feather. And had a... it was like a 200-200 just Wizard Familiar or something like that.
Yep, but that coming back up is...
Yeah, and so, like, I played a guy in the final, and he had, like, 20-some life, and that Wizard Familiar popped back up and just destroyed the rest of his board, and he just conceded immediately.
Those are my favorite. Where they're just like, I don't want to play anymore. Take my ball and go home. Yeah, a lot of people out there say like, "Oh, pants is only a top 4 hero. You can't win with pants." And you know, I think both me, you, and AliOX have proven that multiple times to not be the case. There is an end game strat with pants that you can scale and just crush everybody. It does require luck.
That guy was playing dwarves, and so he was not going to scale nearly as fast as I was with that ball.
Yeah.
So he made the wise decision to just give up.
We call that saving time. Looks like Horde Dragon's health was also changed from 45 to 40. And it sounds innocuous, but I actually think it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I was just beginning to get wins with Horde Dragon now. I was like, oh, I get it. I'm able to, play it like I play APOC to some degree. And the life buffer helped. But now I'm a little hesitant to pick Horde Dragon if I care about winning. This next one, though, is the reverse, and now I'm actually really excited. Midas is 40 to 45.
Yeah, I really like this change because I think I talked to you the other day where I had finished like bottom 2 in like 6 straight games, and I told you that like 4 of those games were Midas.
Yep.
It's like 5 more health, and I may not have finished bottom 2 in those games.
And here we go. Now you can actually play it.
Because a lot of times when you die with Midas, you're right on the edge of stabilizing.
Yeah, you're right on the edge of really being strong. It's funny is a lot of times the early conception was Midas was an early game character, like he was getting early game bonuses. But I find that just like you to not be the case. He's a late game character.
Yeah, I think he suffers early game because you get triple.
Because double. You get 2 doubles, which leads you to 2. Like a board when everybody has 6 and you have 3.
Yeah, because I think we played in one of our custom games. I played Midas, and we were on like 4.2 before I had a full board.
Yep, that sounds about right. So it'd be interesting to test out Midas. I'm probably just gonna stay away from him because he's been super inconsistent for me until I finally reach 4K. But I'm still excited to play some games with him. And I still have him a higher pick order than a lot of other shit, so I'll probably still end up playing him. And then it looks like some network issues and have been fixed, right? And bug fix. This was actually pretty important. Brimstol's last breath could target a brave princess whose quest has already been completed.
And we mentioned this the other day when you were playing Trophy Hunter, and I brought this up, the fact that you needed to get Brave Princess out of your lineup because it would steal a Grim Soul.
Yep. Yep.
And so it's good to know that that was a bug and not intended, and that that's been fixed.
Yes, 100%.
So now I don't feel as bad about leaving my Brave Princess in.
Yeah, so now you can, where before you had to immediately take her out. So I'm excited to play some more games for this patch. I've got tournament and whenever the hell that's going to happen. I think it's like 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to still stay involved with Storybook Brawl, even though this is kind of the February madness of releases of games. It's probably going to make it so I don't practice as much as I probably should.
I will say I hope this patch doesn't mess too much up because I was rolling today before the patch. I played 5 games and got 2 first, a second, and a third.
I would ask you then, how many games involved the Great Pumpkin King?
Me playing Pumpkin?
Yeah.
0.
Oh, see? Then you're fine.
I don't play Pumpkin. Never have. The only time I ever played Pumpkin, even in this meta, was on Beauty.
Oh, that's interesting. I was definitely one of those people that was... Even in the tournament, I played Pumpkin to some of my best performance. Like, some of the best performances. So.
And see, this may be my issue, and the reason I have a hard time climbing ladders. I don't bend to meta very well. I keep with what I know.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at what I do, but what I do is not always good.
So when Slay is in meta, you better watch out.
I do think Slay is much stronger now than it was 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
Trophy Hunter
good.
is still good, although None of those games today were Trophy Hunter.
Oh wow, that's good.
Oh.
I'm telling you, man. This is your month. This is your 4K month.
I'm at like 34 right now. So
That's not bad. I think I'm at
way
36.
I think at this point 3250 is what you need to be.
Yeah, because it's a quarter.
Pace, so.
Yeah, I'm at 36. Actually, funny
I was up to 35, and I did take a 7th place right before.
Those always feel fucking miserable.
So I did end up losing some, but not that much. I think I only lost like 40 points for 7th place. So.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, you're in a good lobby, which is good. There's nothing worse than when you know you're in a bad lobby and you see like negative 100 something points, and you're like, "Are you fucking?"
I don't know if you.
Oh, well, I didn't mute for the stream. I just muted for you. It's funny as I just muted for you, not for the stream.
I'm all alone.
Please talk to me. No, it was. I was just saying it was. It's funny that. God, I don't even remember what I was saying. It's not even important. Play that one back. I totally blanked on it. But either way. Oh yeah, it sucks seeing negative 100 something points for a 7th place.
Oh yeah. I'm not there yet, but
you will.
Just my luck. I'll get the 39 and then get like a 7th place, and it's like negative 150.
Like,
try
God.
again.
I will say I love being in stacked lobbies though, and you get a 5th place and like +1, and you're like, oh, whew.
Yeah, I have seen some of those where it's like 5th place plus 24, and you're like, what? And then you get 4th place, and it's like +1. It's like, come on.
How does that make any sense? Yeah, this is why MMR systems, you're always going to have people complain about it. Because even if they were fair, then you'll never remember the times that it was logical. You're only going to remember how the hell did I lose points for 4th place? Yeah, when it says top win.
Yeah.
Or first win.
I normally don't have an issue with MMR. I think it's good for most games.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with this game is that your ladder climb is based solely on MMR in an RNG-based game.
Yes. Yeah, there's going to be some times the best person in the world, like Spin Zaku, is amazing. There's going to be some games where he finishes 8th. They're not going to be too often, right? Because he's still a really good player. He understands what he needs to do to win lobbies. But there's some times where your shop just doesn't cooperate. You don't get the treasures you need when you need them, and you finish 8th.
And even the biggest thing is what hero selection you get at the start of the game.
True, compared to everybody else's.
If I could choose my hero every game, I would have no problem with an MMR system, even with the rest of it being RNG. But
I agree with that, but I feel like we almost talk about this every single time because it's a big point of contention with, honestly, the game and the rating system, especially when you have tournaments. But yeah, maybe one day we'll see a change. But the last thing I did want to cover for a news item for anybody who does any Amazon shopping, Amazon's running a buy 2 get 1 free video game sale. And on it is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Some of the other games you can get are Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Party Superstars, Ring Fit Adventure, Animal Crossing, The New Horizon, Metroid Dread. A lot of them are Switch games. And then PlayStation 5, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Launch Edition, and then for Xbox, there's Halo Infinite Standard Edition and Forza Horizon 5 Standard Edition.
Yeah, so if you haven't, you should just go buy Arceus and Ghost of Tsushima, and then just pick whatever free game fancies you.
Yeah. No, honestly, if you have a PlayStation 5 and a Switch, and you haven't played those games, yeah. If you don't own those games, there's no reason not to. The problem I have is, like, I've already purchased those games. The one I need is Ghost of Tsushima, but it's the only one I need. So, actually, I've heard good stuff about Metroid Dread. I just don't play my Switch enough. Like, Arceus is perfect type of game to play my Switch with, because I can play it for, like, I can binge it for a couple hours, or I can play it for 15 minutes, and I don't care. It depends on what it is. You can't do that with a Metroid game.
Probably can't do that with Ghost of Tsushima either. So.
No, you cannot. Or
So I
Yakuza
will
for that
say
matter.
the load times are incredible. Like you hit the button and you're in the game. So.
God, that sounds awesome. But yeah, it's if you need any of 3 of those games, yeah, go buy them on Amazon. That's all I really have to talk about. Is there anything news related that you wanted to bring up?
I don't think so. Let me check my Google and see if it's telling me any.
Gaming news, video game news. Where is that? Video. It's game news. Kind of like this new unorthodox series where we just talk about shit.
Buy Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 version and play it on the PS5 for cheaper.
Wow.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, the
but
PS4 version is 60 and the PS5 70, so.
yeah, I wonder if it has a resolution hit though.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I've got nothing fun on my stuff. Tom Holland wants to make a live-action Jack and Dexter video game movie.
There's a Dark Souls tabletop game coming out.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We could play that on Tabletop Simulator.
No, it's like D&D.
Oh!
It's a tabletop RPG.
All right, you want to make a one-shot? I do think we should have a one-shot prepared, so if we ever come through what we faced yesterday, where it's like only 4 people show up, we could just do a one-shot. Maybe I'll grab like a random one-shot campaign. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my to-do list because we were all there and I was down to play. So
yeah, I mean, if you have the just like random charts for encounters in the tower, we could all spin up.
Oh my God!
Characters
Yes.
And put them on a different continent,
Why
and then every time no one's there, we just play those characters.
That's amazing. Yeah, and we could pretend that all those characters are already in the same guild, right? You guys have been knowing each other forever, so you don't have to worry about, like, getting to know you. Like, obviously still RP if you want.
Yeah, and, I mean, it could be happening at the same time, or...
Yeah, concurrently. We do it on the Asian continent that we've made.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, sweet.
Yeah,
That'll make it easier.
Didn't you say there was also a third tower?
There is.
You could do it there. That way, it doesn't interfere with anything.
Oh,
on the
that's
Asian
true.
continent.
No, yep. All right. I have a little bit more world building for that third. There's only 3 continents in the world, so there's only 3 towers. Hence the. But all right, yeah. Now we have that solved. Sweet. Because that would be really easy.
Now we just have to know what level you want us to roll characters at, and then I gotta start thinking about.
I like level 5.
All right.
So
I have a bunch of stuff, and it's like, what do I want to roll?
Sweet. Oh man. Yeah, and I have some world building that I can share for that continent that obviously I never needed to. So it's that continent. I have a very cold, snowy continent. They're like almost very Nordic in nature. So think Skyrim type universe.
Yeah.
So like that's if that background helps you decide which characters, think something like that.
Yeah.
The harshness of the world. Like it's the complete opposite of Mont Spire. Mont Spire is a desert, and then outside of desert it's jungles, lush, hot. And this place is like its polar opposite.
Yeah. I have a character who I never got to, or I briefly played in a campaign. And then the campaign switched days, and I couldn't play on the day they switched to, so I had to quit.
That sucks.
But I loved the character so much.
What was it?
It was a gnome wizard.
Oh.
But his backstory was that it probably wouldn't work on your continent because he's a forest gnome.
You could be from Mont Spire, or the same continent as Mont Spire.
But what had happened was his like the Gnomish society that he grew up in put a huge like emphasis on magic wielding, and anybody that could wield magic gained instant status.
Yeah.
And they had like this academy, and the academy worked as like it had like a double like standard, like people or like they would send the gnomes there to like learn magic, but the top of the academy was also the ruling class for the entire society. So there were 5 like arch sages or mages or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them, that created a council, and one of those 5 was like what would be the like monarch or whatever. And so based on the basis of it is that the 4 had the rights to, or like the 4 that weren't like the top ranking one,
Yeah.
made up his council, but they also could remove him from office
If needed.
uh,
Some checks and balances.
yeah. And then one of those 4,
Would
then after he was removed, they would replace him to bring the council back to 5, and then one of those 5 would be chosen to be the new ruler.
Gotcha.
And my character, the way I'd put his backstory is that, to start with, he was really young when he was brought into the academy at like 15 years old, which for a gnome is super young.
Yeah.
And he became the youngest member of the council at 40.
Jeez.
Because he just had a natural affinity for magic.
Yep.
And he's about 100 or so now, and the rumors were that the acting leader, or not the acting, but the current leader was kind of choosing him to be his successor, which carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And that put a ton of pressure on him, and he kind of cracked under the pressure and went out for a stroll out in the woods and ended up selling his soul to a demon in exchange for more magic power to kind of meet those standards.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is that the magic that he gained power or access to was all destruction magic.
Oh,
So
shoot.
He was a evocation wizard.
Wow.
And so he realized what a mistake he made and then reported it. He got ostracized from the society, and now he's on a mission to find the demon and reverse the contract.
You know, that probably would still actually work.
Yeah.
It
was so cool when I was running it, but yeah.
I think that would work for the one shot, or not one shot, but the temporary campaign.
Yeah, going into the tower, trying to make it to the abyssal plane to find the demon.
It could even be something where, like, he tried the Mons Bias Tower, but then found out from somebody else that, from the, Thevron, that the abyssal planes were easier to access in the Nordic plane. So he's like, all right, well, that's the only one I really care about, so I'll just go there.
Yeah. That's an option, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you got time to think about it.
There's also the option of, I think I mentioned to you before, the spell. What is it? What do they call it? The spell sword, or?
Oh God.
It's another wizard subclass.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The battle mage almost. Wizard spell.
Sword singer, maybe. Does that sound right?
Spell sword. It does sound right. There's a spell sword wizard bid. A spell sword.
No, I don't think it's spell sword. I think it's sword singer.
That sounds right. Wizard, sword, singer. Blade singing.
Blade singer. That's it. Blade singing. Yeah. I still really want to play a blade singer and play the bird. What was the? Now I can't think of the race. The bird that just mimics everything.
Is it a crow? God, Aarakocra?
No, it's not air. That's a different type of bird.
Bird species mimic D&D.
Yeah, kenku.
Kenkus.
Yeah. So I had that one where I think I mentioned it before, where it was raised by a blade singer,
Oh,
and
yeah.
mimicked it and learned how to do it itself,
That's hilarious.
and then got once again ostracized because that's a sacred art that only elves are supposed to be able to use.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I think this one would be more cool to play for, like, offshoots.
Yeah.
And like literally, like the only things I could say is stuff that other people have said, just like mimicking them.
Yeah, I would want you to write down every single phrase that you would think you would want to use after that.
Yeah.
Like, we would start off, I think if you do decide to play that, we would start off with a handful of phrases that
Yeah.
we would just do, like, phrases random generator. And I'd give you, generate phrases. And then we do, like, probably a good 25 of these, right? Or even, no, that's not what I want. I want an actual random word generator. Generate, let's do 25. Know the ropes. A few sandwiches, sort of a picnic. Yada yada. Here. Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, just find stuff that
Knock
like,
your
all
socks
click
off.
right. Yeah. I think this would be like the most fun to play for this like offshoot type thing.
I agree, because I think, and I think Chris found this out, is handicaps are fun, but get tiresome.
Yeah.
Like, I can't speak common well, is really fun until you try to RP and knowing that you have to speak common, right? It's fun to do every now and then, but then when you have to keep it up for every single interaction, let her rip. Cut the mustard.
Oh yeah, and then like every time something like iconic gets said, we could add it.
Add
to the
it.
list.
Yeah. Oh no, you know what we could do is you could say something like, I would like to add this to my list, and we roll an intelligence check, and then 10 or higher you could add that to your list.
Oh, that would be fine, considering it is a wizard.
Yeah,
so
it would be
intelligence
pretty
be
easy,
high.
right? Yeah. That would be a blast to both DM and play.
Yeah.
Quick and dirty.
I've had this idea for a while.
Yeah.
When there's a NPC in Critical Role Campaign 2 that is a Kenku that they rescue.
Oh man.
And she's like young, like still a kid.
Yeah.
And so they have a hard time trying to communicate with it at first, and then it starts to learn some of their phrases. But like one of the funniest things it learns from Jester is "fuck you."
Fuck you. And that's great. That's such a versatile phrase. You can say that with anything.
Yeah.
And constantly change pitch. That would be. I really would want you to try to RP that too. So that would be excellent. Oh, it'd be a trip.
Like sentences with like different phrases
you.
in it and say them differently. Because you've heard them from different people.
Mountain out of a molehill. So what the fuck? Anytime you say yada yada like the Japanese yada yada, you're like yada yada.
I really want to add a few sandwiches short of a picnic to the list, though.
A few sandwiches short of a picnic. Oh my god. Definitely. I'm just gonna take a screen cap of this, so you know, if you want to use these phrases, man, we could start here.
Yeah, after this, I may roll up a character and just.
Dude, I'm down.
Oh man, I love wizards so much.
They can be very good to play.
Yeah, And they're so, especially with the new Tasha's book, is they add such another dimension to them, like with the
Yeah.
blade singing, and then with the Order of the Scribes, which is what Thevron was.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I played first D&D character was a wizard, but this was back in 3.5, so it was a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
You definitely
And
didn't
blade
feel
singing-
strong.
Yeah, and blade singing's different, definitely way different than
Oh,
other
yeah.
wizards because it's focused on sword play.
Yep. It's
So you're taking
awesome.
spells that enhance your sword abilities and ACs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it reminds me of that Hexblade Warlock, except for wizards, which
Wizard,
is awesome. Yeah.
And an extra attack, which is crazy for a wizard.
For a wizard, yeah. Oh man, that would be fun to play. Well, that's a blast. I think though, we are gonna end this week's episode of the Tragikast here. But after this, after you break to eat, if you still gotta do that, I say we play some of the Tiny Tinas. I'm gonna go download it.
Yeah, I'll start the download now.
Sweet.
My parents are out of town, so I don't think I'm doing much for food. I
You're
guess I'll
on
see
your
if
own.
my brother wants. Yeah, I want to see if my brother wants to go get something, but that.
All right, sweet. Well, yeah, just hit me on Discord when you're ready. And for everybody else, we hope to catch you next week. And I will be streaming maybe more Storybook Brawl, maybe Tiny Tina's. Who the hell knows? All right, take it easy, guys.
Yeah.